Yeah. So good. Inglewood. Let's bullets in the clip high. Pull it in the kid drop. Would he ever live if he grew up in a ziplock? Shut it from the riff rock. Never heard of hip hop. Caught up in the grist. Did they holla? Fear not. Aiming for the lid. Better be in tip top. Friendly from the beach. Showed him how to crip walk. Brother was a blood. He slanging that Chris Rock. Got minutes on the wristwatch. Watching as it tick tock. Belly had a piss pop. Bloody as his fist got. Muddy as his kicks got. Homie never did stop. Aiming to get rich. He taking a clear shot. Famous at the goal. He buying up clear lots. About to show the world as soon as it drops. That he spill his soul every time he clears thoughts on paper. This is the truth, y'all just rule on paper. If money ain't good money, I'm cool on paper. Still stacked up, about to take y'all to school on paper. On paper.
Hey, yeah. I like that, man. That right there. That's that D Smoke, man. Y'all, welcome to Hawk Sports. It's your host with the most, David Hughes, or Mr. Hughes. You know, shout out to my Hawks that's out there. And today we're going to get it started with our first episode. Y'all know we trying to get this cracking inside the school. So right now I have a very special guest by the name of Keith O'Neal. And if you don't know, he will let y'all know. As of right now, I'm speaking with our head football coach, the Hawks at J.C Harmon. Okay. So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
First off, man, that intro hard. Want to say that. A little bit about myself. Initially, I'm originally from Beaumont, Texas. Was raised there. I got to put the mic up.
Yeah, just a little bit.
All right. Originally from Beaumont, Texas, man. A small town, you would say, in Texas size, in Southeast Texas, close to the Gulf Coast. A family of a house of 9 with my mom and dad. So I was raised around a lot of people, and when it comes to the game of football, obviously everybody know Texas football is pretty much religion for us. So that was kind of the same thing in our household. Sports, being an athlete in general, was a thing for us. So, being a student athlete was already ingrained, and it was already taught to us that we was going to work our tail off to earn a scholarship, because we put a lot of time and effort into the craft down there. So as much as a lot of other kids down there did that. So, okay. That's me as a child, growing up, played high school ball at Beaumont Central High School. It's no longer there. They combined it with our rival high schools, Ozan, so it's now Beaumont United.
Beaumont United.
Yeah,
okay.
So the shout out to all the Jaguars from 88 Jaguar Drive. Played high school ball there, had a good high school career, athletic career in football, but also had it in track, and I wrestled. Initially earned a scholarship to Missouri Valley College, where I played as a true freshman, man. I was blessed to be one of the only freshmen in my class to play as a true freshman. Led the nation as a true freshman in kick return average. I averaged 49.9 average. I'm kind of just putting out some of the little accolades for myself, guys, so you can hear a little insight about me. And then I also went to nationals in indoor track for the 60 meter dash.
Okay.
So did that as a freshman. Sophomore year, helped our college win a conference title, which ended up turning up to a three-peat. So did that. After I was finished with that, man, kind of finished college, graduated, and then, kind of had to go through that phase of realizing what I wanted to be in life. I wasn't really sure at the time. I still had that athlete's mindset where, once the dream of the NFL or being a pro athlete goes away, generally every athlete has that moment where they have a hiccup in life, where they try to figure out what's your identity. Because generally athletes, when all you know is training, you don't really have all your body time is put into training and put into your craft. You don't really have no other identity. So I had a moment where I had to figure out who I wanted to be. and then realized that, coaching was my calling. Football was my calling. So jumped into that path. Started off as a GA for Missouri Valley. Did that for about a year. Ended up transitioning to Highland Park High School for a year. That's where I met my frat brother, Coach Coy, who's my defensive coordinator now. Did that for a year. Then, because of the, success I had in high school and the connections I had, ended up linking up with one of my offensive coordinators from when I played high school ball. He ended up, helping me out, and I ended up landing a job as a outside linebackers coach and JV head basketball coach, which is funny because I'm not a basketball guy, at Jasper High School in Jasper, Texas. So did that for a year, man. And, I had a family. My family was up here in Missouri while I was in Texas. So I ended up getting the opportunity to, I applied for the head coaching position for my high school. At the time, it was still available. It was still there, Central High School, and became one of the 6 finalists for the position.
Okay.
I was only 25, man. I didn't have no master's degree, nothing at the time. But, applied for the position because the people I knew down there, and because, again, because of my, my name and everything like that, I ended up finding out who was the head coach before the job was given to him. And then we ended up working out a deal where I was going to become his offensive coordinator. So I was going to be a 25-year-old offensive coordinator for a 5A high school in Texas. This is, like I said, first time doing all this stuff, man. So it was kind of coming real fast, man.
Yeah. So that means you got a lot of history in football. So
man.
You've been there.
I've traveled I've coached in Texas. We coached in Jasper. I almost made it to a state championship. We was 1 game away. After I left Texas, like I said, I came back up here to Missouri. Had to reunite with my family. I ended up coaching at Winnetonka in North Kansas City. I did that for a year. Then, unfortunately, I went through a divorce, life, that happens. Took a year off, had to reset everything, get my life back together. I ended up getting a job because of the lady I knew, Dr. Beryl New. She's the district certified manager, or I think that's her role in Topeka. She was the principal at Highland Park at the time when I was coaching there.
Okay.
And, man, I'm giving my heart out to you guys, letting you guys know about me. So at the time, man, I kind of had to resign from the Winnetonka job, and, life kind of stopped. I didn't know what I was going to do at the time. So I called her and kind of just let her know, like, look, Dr. New, I'm kind of going through a little situation here and I need some help. And she helped me out, man. She kind of gave me that key to get back into the whole teaching aspect, teaching field, man. And I kind of, she was the one that started the ripple.
And landed you at J.C. Harmon.
Man, the journey is crazy, So
I see that. I see that. But I mean, they all say that it's not about really the destination. No. It's all about the journey.
Yes,
to get where you're going, because that's what really built you and prepared you for it to be in the position that you're in right now as a head coach.
So a lot of people think, a lot of people will think about the final product at the time, and don't realize that you don't really cherish that final product until you go through the ups, the downs, the failures, the success, the life journeys. Like, I had to go through a lot of journeys of learning who I was as an individual, which initially ended up creating this, my philosophy, the no X mentality that, I'll end up talking about later in the interview and stuff like that. But I had to go through those failures in life and stuff like that to realize who I was as a man, which helped me become a leader of men. Okay. So, man. So like I said, Dr. New, shout out to you. Thank you. Like you said, I appreciate you for giving me that energy I needed to, pole vault into who I am now. Because the one thing that I know, going through a divorce is crazy, but going through a divorce while getting your second master's is a real tough deal.
So speak about that, because we do have some hawks that might be thinking that school is for me, school ain't for me, not really knowing the in between. So like give them a little insight on what you think about education and how they should be able to prepare themselves for either going or, at least making decision of not wanting to go.
Okay. My thing is, I would say one thing, college isn't for everybody. All right.
Okay.
I feel like now school, we try to push college on kids, and sometimes college isn't for everybody, so we should open doors for like trade school and stuff like that.
Okay.
But just like anything, man, you have to have a motivation into when you're doing something. You have to have something to give you a purpose. I remember I was talking to Miss Richardson, Leanne Richardson. She's the science teacher at Schlegel. Shout out to you. I'm gonna give a lot of love to a lot of people in this. But Leanne, I mean, we had a conversation, and she always sat down and said, "Know your why. Why are you doing this?" So I would say this for people when it comes to education, man, or just anything that you're doing. If you have a drive for anything, know your why, stick to that why, and then from there, just continue pushing yourself, and let that motivation lead you into what initially your goal is. So education is for certain things is needed. But like I said, it's not for everybody. So my thing when it comes to being an educator, man, I like to put out the substance of failure. I feel like in education, us as educators, sometimes, not all, some educators do this, or a lot of educators do this, where we give these kids that ingredients of failure, because failure is a needed source for success.
I'm
failure,
glad you explained,
man. Because with failure, you're allowed to see where you need to make those corrections. Generally, like in our field, we have kids when they hit failure, it's just a barrier. When they hit that barrier, they initially turn around and go the other direction instead of stop.
Go back to their comfort zone.
Go back to the comfort zone. Go back to what they feel like is what they're used to. That keeps them in that calm state of mind instead of staying in that uncomfortable situation and figuring out the puzzle so you can see the success on the other side of the goal. So in education, sometimes, man, education will push kids to see that failure is a route to go the different direction instead of push through.
And I'm guessing that is one of the things that you will be implementing with the football team coming up on this next season next year.
Yes. So just to lay out, so I when I got hired for this position, I brought in this philosophy called the no X mentality.
X mentality.
Yes. So the three key principles, and I'm just not going to dive deep into it, but the three key principles is no defeat, no quitting, and no excuses. So when you hear my guys chant break, they yell no X. And from what I'm hearing, the baseball program is following up with it. Okay. The wrestling program is also following with it. So it's an addicting philosophy because it allows you basically. It's not just a philosophy for sports. I created it for life, but I use my own life as the foundation of it, and the whole base of the philosophy is overcoming adversity.
Okay.
It's teaching the kid how to overcome adversity in life, no matter if it's the classroom. Obviously, it's in athletics because you're playing football.
Yeah.
But I bring it to the classroom. I bring it into your own personal living aspect and what you're doing when I tell the kids when nobody's watching. When you're in your, when you're on your personal, when nobody's watching.
That determines on what type of person you really are.
Yes. So, and when I brought this philosophy to the school, man, these kids, they bought into it. And, the one thing that I would say coming to J.C. Harmon is these kids, they wanted this, just by the drive they had and the commitment they have with me. And like I said, I know we're going to dive into it. I'm kind of just feeling, but I just know they wanted this philosophy just because now they have implemented it in their own lives, man. And I see this every day now, watching them fall in love with football and fall in love with their craft when it comes to the game of football.
And that is something that we definitely would love to see a whole lot more of, because I be telling my students, there is nothing wrong with knowing how to be good at football.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with knowing how to be good at an instrument. There's nothing wrong with having good grades.
Having a hobby, having a craft, having something that you can be good at, man. You know,
something that you would take personal, that you want to accomplish. Like, I mean, if we really looked at how you was talking about overcoming adversity when it comes to life, if we really looked at things as something that I would like to actually do and experience, then we will overcome. Because take me, for example, I do music. It's a lot of adversity in music. So, I mean, music is very eclectic, and I mean, you either make a good song that people like or you don't.
Yes.
But if you don't mean you need to stop making music.
Right.
That just means that you need to make music that you like. And it doesn't matter if somebody actually listening to it, because that's what you like to do. It's about having that creative thought to be like, you know what? This is what I want to do. Regardless of you, I'm going to get it done.
Right. Hey, and for my musicians out there, for my artists out here, hey, yo, I watched this brother create music, man, and I would tell you, it is beautiful watching people be in their creative mode, but the time and patience and the dedication you have to put into this craft, hey, just like anything, like I said, you have to overcome adversity. So he definitely go through adversity with his stuff. So I just salute him for that, because, man, I just like coming over and watching him and the artists that he worked with create music, because it's a powerful thing.
Thank you for that. Shout out to everybody at the MMF studio.
Shout out to you guys.
Yes. All right, so let's get a little bit into what your goals are with being at J.C Harmon, especially with being the OC. That's the official position, right?
Head coach. I'm the offensive coordinator. I feel like sometimes I feel like a principal. I feel like a therapist, father figure, a brother, uncle, nephew. To when you need to be a nephew, I guess. I don't know. I feel like everything sometimes. No, man. But no, my ultimate goal is to change not only football for the school, but to change athletics for the entire school. And by change, I'm not saying change in the sense of winning, because winning that's a byproduct of, you know, other aspects that comes to that. But changing the mindset of when it comes to competing. So having a winner's mindset, I guess that's basically where I'm trying to go with that. So you know, you might not always win, but if you have a winner's mindset, then you're gonna compete, you're gonna train, you're gonna prepare yourself,
and you're gonna give it your all. Anything that you do,
and you're gonna and that right there creates pride. And like I said, we all been high school kids, we all been high school athletes or whatnot. And being a high school athlete myself, you know, I notice, you know, and I'm aware of everything in my surroundings, and I always put the past as an example for things because it helps with the present. But when I was in high school, man, football had the school rocking, you know. Football had everything. Life was great because the football team was good.
Can I tell you something crazy about us, though? Or about me, personally? We didn't have football. Like, so I went to Purcell High School, shout out. I'm still an alumni because I am a creative person. But I went to Purcell, and my freshman year, we lost our accreditation, like, real bad, so we didn't have enough money to even buy different uniforms. So what they did was everybody that was already playing football played until they graduated. And then so anybody that wasn't playing football before then wasn't able to do it because we didn't have enough money to buy like pads and protective equipment for us to get on the football field.
Right.
So
I know that's tough.
Yeah, it's kind of because the thing is, everything that I learned about football, it was from playing outside, just being a kid.
The game gives you, like the whole saying, it gives you life lessons. I mean, it's true. The game it teaches you a lot of things that in life you'll probably have to go through certain experiences to go through. Like I said, and I can point out a few things right there, like being able to be equal with a man of different anything, ethnicity, mindset, economical status. You have to find a way to create balance with that guy because you both have to have a common goal to achieve something, achieve a success, excuse me. Like, and then, like, I mean, look at our kids, for example. I mean, we have a population of Hispanic students, heavily Hispanic students, and then we have our other ethnicities. So when it comes to playing the game of football, obviously I have more Hispanic athletes, but at the end of the day, all these guys are still different, and they still have to figure out a way to create a single unit mindset to achieve a certain goal.
Man, and that's one thing that I really do think is a beautiful thing, because in the way that it was for me, we didn't have that. So by the time I actually became an adult, it was hard to actually find people that were around me that was like-minded like that, because we didn't never have that camaraderie that a football team could actually teach you, or a basketball team could teach you. Like, I mean, playing the game officially and then playing the game just outside because we like the ball or we like to play football, it's completely, totally different.
Right.
Because, I mean, even with you playing outside, it's still every man for themselves, even though you got 12 people on your squad.
Yeah,
or
man.
5-on-5, how we used to do.
Playing for a high school, I mean, I tell a lot of guys, you know, I was talking to one of your artists just, I think yesterday when I was here, and I was telling him, if you really want to look at any sports at its purest, look at youth sports. I mean, now in certain states, obviously high school athletes are now getting paid NIL deals, but in general, your states where the game is still pure, high school, youth, pee-wee, it doesn't matter, but youth sports in general, that's where you see the biggest love for the game. That's when it matters the most, because now you're playing not only for your name, your family's name, because obviously your family's understand watching you produce those stats and score those touchdowns and make those tackles, but you're playing for a school. Yeah. Now you're playing for a school that now the school has pride and want to be known for the best, to be the best. You know, that's why everybody walk tough. I mean, look at the Chiefs fans here. So Chiefs fans walk, man. You know, I'm a Jets fan. Everybody know I'm a Jets fan. But to see, you know, since Patrick Mahomes been on the Chiefs, man, y'all
been killing it.
Oh my gosh, y'all walk around like y'all are the best of the best of the best. But as you should, because
shout out to the Chiefs.
Hey, shout out to you guys. But that's what you're supposed to do when your football team winning. Football does that. Football brings life to anything, man. It brings life to anything, and it changed lives. It changed my life, you know, and like I said, it changed some of the guys, like I said, the guys who I played ball with in high school. I still talk to those guys still to this day. You know, I even give some of the stories to, you know, my football team about, you know, when, and this is a quick story, just to just show how much of the game is such a beautiful thing, and how crazy I am about the game of football. So my grandpa passed, and when I was in middle school, he passed away. And I initially remember my mama telling me, all right, because we lived in Beaumont, and he you know, his funeral was in Houston, which is 2 hours away. So my mama told me, she was like, all right, so when school's over with, you're going to come home so we can drive and go to the funeral.
Yeah.
I ain't do that. School was cool. School was over, yo. I went to football practice. This is my grandfather's funeral, by the way. Like, to let you know, this is how much of I'm locked in with this game already. I'm in middle school. This is a young age. This is what I told my kids on the football team, this is when I knew the game chose me, and then I chose the game back. That was the day. But you know, I went to freaking football practice, man. Went through the whole practice, get through the whole deal, and we get to the breakdown. So, you know, the coach pops up and you're like, all right, guys, you know, let's break it down. We're about to do our jumping jacks.
Right.
And my kids, my team, they now this is their little chant for me now, which is freaking crazy. But you know, as he's saying that, right when we're about to do it, out of nowhere, I hear my mama, hold on, coach, before you break it down, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Oh, out of nowhere, yo. So everybody head turned, yo. Everybody, and she snapping. Didn't I, I'm talking about going off. Didn't I such and such tell you to come? We got to go to a funeral and you came to goddamn practice. I had to take off, haul tail to get undressed, and so we go to this funeral, man. So that day, that was the day that me and football, we became one. Because, you know, when you're missing a family, my grandfather's funeral, bro, you know, and I'm in middle school doing this, you feel me? So
I definitely hear you on that. But
So that was just a quick crazy story.
That's
for
what
y'all.
you call dedication, though.
Yes,
Like
that was a quick crazy story for y'all, man.
And to have that type of love and dedication for something that you want to do, man, that's what we actually trying to show the kids at the school.
Right.
So I mean, but all right. So give us one of the biggest things that you are a team player, when your team players have accomplished in the year that you have been here over here at J.C. Harmon.
So what have we accomplished this year?
Yeah. One of the biggest thing. I mean, even if it's not like the biggest thing, but the biggest thing to you.
The biggest thing to me so far has been having Adahi Jimenez sign a 4-year scholarship to play football.
Okay.
Man, that was a powerful moment where I almost shed tears giving the speech that I gave, introducing him getting a scholarship, because of how powerful impact that I feel like it made. We had student athletes that was in there watching him do his signing, and I can tell after they saw that signing day, like it gave them a little bit of life on that can be me next.
That's a big thing, though. I mean, signing the 4 years. Where are you signed to?
Sterling College is in Sterling, Kansas.
Okay.
I believe that's what Western Kansas area, something like that. But the thing about it was, for those that don't know, I mean, we had my first season as a head coach, we had a losing season. Here's the impact with that losing season, though. So we had a losing season. The program hadn't scored a touchdown in 3 years, for what my kids told me. We ended up last year also, before I got here, I think the kids, they just averaged 30 kids, at least 30 kids in the program. First year, we started off with 65.
Oh,
so
that's a double up right there.
Hey, and here's the love about this part. So every game, man, every coach, every athletic director, they either go to my AD. Shout out to Mr. Border, who is AD of the year.
What's up,
my
Border?
guy? But they either go to him, and AD refer back the information back to me, or they come to me after the game. And it's like, Coach, the energy that your kids have, like the fight, the drive that they just continue to, not quit.
They was ready.
They was like, I remember the Atchison AD walked up, he was like, man, I remember last year you guys had like 20 kids on that sideline. And now to look on that sideline and you have 60 in uniform, and they're fighting to the end of the court. Like, he was like, that last 2 quarters of the game, he was like, man, that was the most exciting football I've ever seen from this school in a long time.
Man.
So that was one of the big things. Another big things, on top of, like I said, and like I said, we didn't score a touchdown in 3 years on JV or varsity, and JV scored a touchdown versus Wyandotte, which was huge. And what makes it even more crazy, the way they scored it, I had one of my 2 female football players at quarterback.
Oh.
So she ended up, and the other female was at receiver. So this is how this set up. This
gotta be a
hey,
good
so
one.
so for my female athletes, if you want to play football, hey, I accept you as well, but also know that, hey, you guys rock. So play football, female athletes. I love see females play football. But anyway, so the way this setup was, Rebecca was at quarterback and Paula was at receiver. So Rebecca, I called the passing play. It's the end of the game, and I'm just trying to give my guys experience. Get them some time to really learn. We're still learning the game, because 90% of the people on the football team, 95% of them never played football, never played high school football to that day. To the first day, the first game, JV and varsity. So I'm doing things to just help them gain IQ and experience. But anyway, Rebecca, I called a pass play for a slant for Perla. So this is funny. So called the play, and Coach Cooper, my O-line coach, he's looking at me. He's like, you did not call no freaking pass play to Perla to catch it. And I just looked at him. I was like, she's a football player.
Yep.
So they lined up, and Rebecca drops back, and she throws the slant, and it was a bad pass. I'm not gonna lie, the pass was bad, but Perla got slaughtered. I don't know. I'm looking at, like, me and Coach Cooper looking at the DB from Wyandotte, and he's just staring Perla down like a lion, bro. Like he sees
Oh, he's about to go down.
He didn't give a crap about the play or what else was going on. I could have called a pass directly to throw to him. He wasn't finna get that pass. He saw blood. So I'm watching as the play developed. I'm watching, and Cooper looks at me, and I looks at him, and I was like, "Yeah, this finna be bad, bro."
Man.
So Rebecca drops back, throws the slant to Perla, and like I said, the pass was bad, but Perla gets clobbered. I'm talking about Cam Chandler type hit. And she gets up. No X mentality. She gets up and she shakes it off. Love my girl Perla. But we get a pass interference. So that boosts us up to the freaking goal line. And I think I called a freaking ISO. I think I called ISO, and we scored a freaking rushing touchdown, and freaking kids went crazy, man.
Hey,
so
man, congratulations.
That was the JV experience. So that was actually a part of my goals for the years. Like, I want them guys to. My thing is taste blood. That means scoring. So they need to know what it feels like to get in the end zone. So JV did it, which was a powerful thing.
Okay.
And then varsity ended up doing it versus Sumner, which was crazy. I think I saw the video on my Twitter.
Shout out to Twitter.
Hey, and
still active.
And with how that play developed, how that touchdown developed was also a big thing. Like I said, this school, we were still finding our way on offense, and I called the passing play with Lucas Nelson, who was the quarterback, and he threw a beautiful pass to Carlos Kemper. Caught that bad boy on I think it was on the 7, on the 10 or 7, somewhere around that range. It was just a great pass. One of the best passes of the season, I would say, from Lucas for sure. But they put us in a position, and then I called I think an ISO play for our running back at the time. He transferred out, but he ended up scoring a freaking touchdown, bro. And when I tell you, the stadium went crazy. Like the stands was wild. Yeah. My freaking kids if you go find it, you can find it on my Twitter. You got to dig through that bad boy. But if you find the video, you will see the kids lost their mind. I mean, I'm calm and collective like I've been there before. I should have probably lost my mind too, but I'm locked in on football. But the kids lost their mind. And the fun fact off this, and my kicker Eric Flores got mad at me because I didn't call field goal. And this was the one opportunity for them to kick the field goal, and I called 2 points because we ran out of time because everybody was celebrating. So, hey, that was a great moment, man. But like I said, that was just a few powerful moments for me for this year. But like I said, just to top it all off, the Jimenez 4-year scholarship signing that's the cake, man. Yeah, that's the cake, man. Like I said,
that's the icing on top.
Man, that was a beautiful thing.
That is definitely a beautiful thing, man. Shout out to him. That's great. That's great. He's going to pursue his dreams and do something different.
Like I said, for him to sign, the reason why it's so powerful, one, and I did my fact checking on all this because I don't want to put out misinformation. But one, I do know, I think from my knowledge in KCK alone, I mean, football-wise, the past 3 years, it's been a lot of JUCO signings. I mean, I don't think no kid, and if I'm wrong, excuse me if I'm wrong, this is from my knowledge, so it could be wrong, but from my knowledge, and I think I'm about 95% correct, but a lot of kids have been going the JUCO route, which is nothing wrong with JUCO. Don't get me wrong with that. Nothing wrong with JUCO, but I would like to see more kids in 4-year programs. Yeah. But that was kind of the direction KCK was going. So that's a 3-year span of just JUCO athletes, and then on top of that, for Harmon didn't have, from my knowledge, from what I was told by my guys, Harmon didn't have a 4-year scholarship signed. I don't think anything, probably not even football, but just anything since 2019.
Okay,
I think that's what they said.
So what's that? 4 or 5 years,
man. That's a nice little grip, for that type of stuff. And shout out to all the coaches, the head coaches before me, that kept the program afloat. I don't want to make it seem like obviously Harmon is this is the reality of it. Harmon is a tough program, one of the football wise is worst program in the state of Kansas. So for the guys who took on these roles before me and now me taking on this role, it takes a lot of heart, it takes a lot of love for kids and love for the game to take on this type of role and to do these things to try to get these kids to fall in love with a game where there's not a lot of success. So shout out to you, head coaches, for
and
that.
that is good to hear you say that, because it kind of leads into my next question. What is going to be like your focus for the program on the upcoming season, next season?
So this season, obviously last season we taste blood already, so we scored. So the kids know what scoring feels like. They know what getting in the end zone feel like. Now the kids, my guys, have bought into the aspect of being multi-sport athletes, which I am a firm believer that being a multi-sport athlete not only helps you for if you want to make it to college, because a lot of college coaches love multi-sport athletes. And I'm saying this because I was also once a recruiter when I was a grad assistant for my college, when I was doing that as well. I also recruited some kids to Missouri Valley. So I was prepped for all this stuff. So I know what college coaches look for. So that's one. So being a multi-sport athlete is a good thing because it also helps you with your craft of whatever your passion is. So my guys are playing multiple sports, and just going into June, I was able to create a 7-on-7 league for the district, not just for my program, but I want this whole district to be successful, man. Obviously I want us all to compete, but I want us all to be able to compete outside of our league when playoffs hit.
Okay.
One of the things that that I had a pet peeve with being in KCK for coaching football in KCK for 4 years now is we never had the time to or the tools to teach our kids how to throw the ball or how to throw anything else besides the 9 balls, like I like to say. Like we in KCK, I mean, you can watch any school, any game, and we'll throw hitches and we'll throw goals.
Yeah.
But when you see these other programs where they get these colleges come in, these kids are running concepts. They're running curl concepts when you have a curl flat or a dig concept where you have a deep dig and an inside route to clear it out, or a real smash concept, and run it religiously to the point where it looks like you practice it on a regular. So I was able to create a 7-on-7 league for our league, and I've also implemented some other teams outside our league. I know Piper is joining to want to be a part of this, and also Central High School from KC, Missouri side. So that's a big deal.
You got
Coach Piddle. Shout out to you, Coach Piddle. Hey, my guy. When I initially brought this idea on Twitter, he jumped on instantly. It was like, hey man, I want to be a part of this.
I'm gonna have to ask you a question outside of this about that one, but that's gonna be something different. Gotcha. But okay, keep going.
Yeah, so I got those guys in, and then like I said, I got also the district high schools in it as well. So, and I have the U.S. Army sponsoring it.
Oh,
so
okay.
This is going to be a big deal, man. So like I said, for all the people that know, I like to. I'm good at advertising my program and advertising stuff like this. So I feel like when it comes to the 7-on-7 thing, Battle of the Big Uglies. I just want to say 7-on-7. We also have Battle of the Big Uglies, which is also for our linemen. I want to make sure everybody gets opportunity to compete and be in that realm. So I always leave that out, but I like to put it back in. So Battle of the Big Uglies and 7-on-7, guys. So parents, students, if you don't have anything to do, which you guys don't, come out and watch these young men and women. If they decide to continue to play ball, you feel me?
Don't discriminate.
You feel me? To come out and watch them play some summer football. I think it'll be the summer of June. Will be a good thing for you guys to get outside and watch these kids compete. And then this is an opportunity to get community to come together, because I'm going to also have vendors there. So I'm trying to make this big, man. And I want to make this a bigger thing and make it expanding. So I have that going on. And then on top of that, I'm also doing a padded football camp with all the state championship teams in Kansas. So I'm bringing my program there, and we're going to practice with them. So it's not a tackle. It's just like an opportunity. It's a controlled environment with pads just to keep for safety deals. But they're going to film it. We're going to practice our plays against those guys. So like I told my guys, man, if you want to know what the standard looks like, you have to be around it. So that's why we played Rockhurst this past season, and everybody went freaking crazy. Mind you, people, it's football, Yeah, there's a winner and a loser, but like I said, freaking people went crazy when me and my AD decided to play Rockhurst last year. And when I told my AD, I was like, look, my kids need to know what success looks like. So I want to be around it as much as I can. So I wanted to play them. After talking to Coach Donahue, shout out to Coach Donahue. Great coach. We made sure that it was a great a great opportunity, a competitive atmosphere for my kids and for his kids. And, you know, I feel like that was a good game for us. So, and that was my deal for adding Rockhurst. Everybody thought that was a crazy thing. The papers went crazy and all this stuff like that. Oh, there you go. Okay. But yeah, that was my deal for, you know, putting Rockhurst on the schedule because, you know, I was getting freaking reporters like hitting me up asking for like, why are we doing this and stuff like that, man. It was a crazy deal, but that was the method of the madness. So this is another aspect to that madness is just continue to put these kids around success, you know, because this program has never seen success on a regular.
And another thing, I have to go ahead and double back on you being very inclusive. That is a very big thing nowadays in today's age. And to be able to actually hear and see, be like, nah, we include everybody.
Yeah. You
want to get on this field, get on this field.
Come play. Like I said, I want everybody to come out and at least, like I was telling some guys, like I'm recruiting guys in my school. Like I'm gonna have guys coming out and play football who never played while they've been in Harmon.
Yeah.
And my thing is, and my pitch to them is, look, all I want you to do is just come try it. So you can at least say during your high school experience, I tried football.
Yeah.
So when you have kids and your kids, you say you have a son or daughter who wants to play the game, you can say, well, I tried it and this was my experience. You can give them your experience on it, but you can't just tell them, you can't be one of those people who are just blind and be like, no, don't play it because it's dangerous, but you never even put the damn pads on.
Yeah.
You know, you never even been to a practice, you never sweat, you never felt the energy of working for something with a group of people. Yeah. So
and that's another thing, because even if it's not their thing, they can still take the lessons of what you're teaching through football and use that in life. So I mean, that's a good thing to really have. A good thing for them to really know that they can be included and come learn even more than just the game of football.
And then on top of that, like I said, I'm trying to build Harmon football. I mean, I don't want, like, while I'm here, I'm not expecting Harmon football to be 20 kids in the program because I'm too passionate to the game. I'm too energetic. I advertise this program.
Oh man, see you in the hallway.
Oh my gosh, yo. Like look, like everybody think I'm crazy and I'm a freaking rabbit, but when I'm at home, like I'm on chill mode. I have to relax because of so much energy I put into it, but because you need that. Like these kids need, like I advertise the program, bro. Like I remember I posted on one of my Twitter. I was like, right now, like when it comes to recruiting, Nick Saban ain't got nothing on me. Because I'm in these hallways, yo. Like I'm
talking
really
to
everybody. Like if the kid look like I've never seen you before. You ever played football before?
Man,
I'm getting kids out. So like I said, man, I got kids coming out who never played before while they was at Harmon, and now they're coming out just so they can give it an opportunity. And you know, that just comes through the passion of the game, but not only myself, but my staff. I have a staff of educators on my staff, man. I have all teachers on my staff. So that means we're all in the building. That means when a kid does something, the kid's not just going to the principal. The kid's going to meet Coach O'Neill and the football coaches as well. Yeah. Or if not, my assistant coaches catch on to the kid first and they let me know. But you have guys monitoring you the whole time.
Yeah, and that's another thing that's good for them to see is that teamwork does make the dream work.
Yes.
It takes a village. Yes. Because sometimes I might not be there for everything that you do.
And to piggyback off on that, not only do I have guys who are teachers in the school, but I have guys who are also head coaches on my staff. Like the head baseball coach is my receivers coach.
Oh, okay. Oh,
so
I mean,
that
makes sense.
There's the mixing of multi-sport athletes right now. So the guys who play football for me, they're playing baseball for him right now.
Okay.
You know, and the guys who play line for me are running are doing track because Coach Cooper is the throwers coach. Coach Coy is also the baseball coach as well. So my guys are around. We're everywhere. You know, like I tell the athletes, like this is when you're a student athlete nowadays, man. You don't go home until the lights come on outside. Like you shouldn't know anything about your house except your bed. You feel me? Like whenever if your craft, like say, for example, like say football is your primary sport. Well, football, obviously you're gonna put your effort and time and all that stuff in during the fall. But as soon as football over with, what you're doing for winter? What you doing for fall? What you doing for spring?
Yeah, because I mean, if you just sit around and just let all that athleticism go to waste,
yes, and
it's gonna be hard to get back when the season
that was
you
my
play.
pitch to a lot of these kids who were doing one sport. Like for example, Cameron Pittman. Cameron Pittman was a wrestler. I'll put him on.
Yeah,
Cameron Pittman.
I got him in class. I know exactly.
Cameron Pittman, I think, is 6'3", like 250.
Yeah,
he was a wrestler. From what I was told, he was a pretty good damn wrestler. He didn't wrestle this year, which I had an issue with that. But he rebounded. He's doing track.
Yes,
because I gave him the same pitch.
Him and his cousin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Lucas. Side note about Lucas. I call Lucas Fireball. Lucas came out and played football for me, guys. And hey guys, I know I sidetrack a lot on this interview, but that's just how much passion and love I have for this game. That's how much time we've put into this game where we have stories.
Well, we got 15 more minutes left, so
all right. So real quick. So Lucas came out and played football for me, and Lucas was probably like $150 right now, if that. It's soaking wet. I don't know. Right now he gotten bigger. Right now he's bigger.
I was about to say he got to be at least 160, 65.
Yeah, but when he came play football for us, he was at least $150. So obviously he came in and he just came in, Coach, I just want to hit somebody. So me and Coach's like, man, put him at linebacker, man. So I'm crazy, bro. So when it comes to football, you have to have, to me, when you're a high excel athlete, you have a few screws loose.
Right.
That's a fact. And the higher you go, your screws are even more looser. So that's why your professional athletes have a mindset where they are dominant when they are playing the least dominant. But it doesn't look like that when they're playing everybody else who have the same mindset. That's why Jordan and LeBron and all those guys are so talked about, because truthfully, their screws are loose. Kobe, the Mamba mentality, if you look at his mentality, it's the same like No X mentality. You have to have a few screws loose to be successful, because you have to sacrifice stuff. But anyway, so to pig into this story with Lucas. So Lucas has a few screws loose. So Lucas is $150, but he will run through a brick wall.
Hey.
And now that he thick, bro, I can't wait for him to put pads on now to run through a brick wall, because I know he's going to hurt somebody's child. But he will run through a brick wall. So it was one game. I don't know, Coach, what game it was? What game did he play? Was it Wyandotte game? Yeah, so I guess Wyandotte game, everybody went off because Trayvon Lawson went off that game as well. But Wyandotte game, the first play on defense, all we said was, Lucas, I want you to pick a lineman and run right through his face. Don't care who. Just pick a lineman and make a statement. And I guarantee you, pick the lineman, boom, ran right through his face. But it hurt. Because he was $150. But to have that mindset, man.
Yeah, that takes some heart.
So he earned the name Fireball. So when to the person, I'm the type of person, if I give you a nickname, obviously everybody knows if you get a nickname, that means somebody respects you. That's a sign of respect.
Yeah.
So Fireball is his nickname. But that's a side story. So now Cameron, back to his cousin, Cameron
Lucas,
Pittman.
though.
Yeah. So back to his cousin, Cameron Pittman. Cameron Pittman, like I said, was a wrestler last year from what I was told. Didn't play football at all. Coming to play football for me this year, his senior year.
Okay.
Motivation. So this kid here is in the weight room, bro. He's doing track. So he's committed. He's bought into the No X mentality. So that kid that I like I said, and I advertise my kids as, like I said, as if I have a winning program. Like in my head, I have a winning program.
Yeah.
Obviously the record don't say that, but my kids will tell you, hell, Coach O'Neal talk like we're undefeated, as I should, because I'm putting in the work with my kids. So to see him come in, man, and want to be a part of this and want to work is just a testament of the work that I'm putting in and all the stuff. So that was just a side story. I just want to throw about some of the kids, guys.
Hey, shout out to Cam. Y'all already know. I'll see y'all in class. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start wrapping it up. So we're going to hit you with the moment of honesty question. Mm-hmm. As far as your roster that you got out there on the field, who we need to look out for next year?
Jamarcus Lane will be one.
Okay.
Jamarcus Lane he's my slot receiver. He's undersized slot receiver, but he's I would say, in the words of Coach Cooper, he was kind of, because he's a Chiefs fan, he would be our Tyreek Hill.
Oh, okay.
I will say. So I'll speak in the Chiefs code.
Shout out to all the Chiefs fans. Y'all hear it.
And I'm only doing this because I know the Chiefs fans will understand that. But
think out here.
but Jamarcus Lane will be a kid to watch out for.
Okay.
Lucas Nelson, he played quarterback for me last year.
Okay.
If we have some kids come out, I have some kids who are coming out saying they want to play quarterback this year. So if they do come out, me and him already had the conversation that he's going to be our utility belt. So he's going to play offense. He's going to play defense. He's that kid. He's a leader. That's a leader of men. He's a quiet young man when he needs to be quiet. He'll speak up when he needs to speak up. He plays baseball. Well, I ain't gonna say power lift, but he lifts weights on his by time in school, outside of school. His grades. He's a good young man. So he's another young man to watch out for. Julian Bush. He's one of my offensive linemen. He's one of our leaders in the trenches. Ulysses Contreras is another leader. I'm just pointing out all the guys I can think of off the top of my head. Carlos Campa, he's going to be one of our guys on defense. Some guys to watch out for that didn't play for me last year. That I think are going to be some who's that type of kids. Kai Whitmore. Nobody knows who this kid is. This kid is coming to play running back. Hey. The reason why I'm putting his name out because of the work that he's putting in the weight room right now. And his brother, Jaden Bringus. Jaden Bringus is going to be playing corner. So the receivers, watch
out. Both of them got wheels on their feet, huh?
Hey.
Because, you said running back and receiver. Both of them got to have wheels.
The younger brother's playing corner.
Corner.
Yeah.
I mean, you still got to have wheels.
But here's the thing this is why I'm so excited about these two. Now, they're in my weights class.
Okay.
And they push each other to be great in the weight room. Like Kai has pushed his younger brother Jaden to be on the max board, bro. Jaden has, I think, the strongest squat for freshmen right now.
Oh, okay.
And he's going to be a sophomore next year. And Kai is a sophomore, and Kai has, I think, he's on the board for squat as well. Either squat or bench press, one of the two for sophomores. But these two young brothers are pushing each other in the weight room, which is a powerful thing. So I'm excited to see them.
That is.
Who else? Who am I missing, Coach? Carlos Gallardo. That young man, he called himself. I gave him the name All State when I got here, and the reason why I gave him the name All State because he made honorable mention in punting for All State. For punting. So I called him All State, and man, he stuck. And here's the thing about my boy. So All State stuck to that boy's name. He called himself that, and he ended up going to state in wrestling.
Hey, that's what's up.
Come on, man. Like
All State. We ain't talking insurance.
We talking to All State. So my boy All State, he's gonna be playing linebacker, and he has progressed.
Okay.
His mentality for the game, his mindset for the game has progressed. His aggression has gotten better from the start of the season last year to now. To see his maturity, that's a good thing. So I'm ready to see him in action. Another kid who's transferred in, who's gonna be playing for Amir Carey. This young man squats 515 pounds right now, guys. If you've seen my Twitter, I post him. He's on Twitter for you coaches out there. If you want to, he's a junior, so he's in business.
Okay.
He's in talking business for scholarships if you want to talk. But he's going to be playing nose and possibly center maybe, but I know for sure nose for us. But the squat 515 pounds,
man,
impressive.
Man.
So those are some of the guys that off the top of my head that I can just throw out that I think they're going to be impactful. Those guys are also great leaders for this program. And like I said, just to wrap up, and I'm going to put some love on Jamarcus Lane name. This young man and those people who know this young man, and he'll even tell you this, man. Before I got here, all the stories I got about how he was such a behavioral issue in class. His grades were a little rocky in a sense, stuff like that. He was just such a nuisance, I would say, last year where I think he even got in trouble and got kicked out of school, had to get suspended a few times for stuff like that. But this year, when I met that young man, I don't know what energy that I've spilled off into that kid, but that kid has changed his grades. He's the one now. He's hitting his teammates up, asking them to meet up to run routes on the field. He's the one leading this stuff now. He's working on his behavior in classroom. He's gotten better with going to class and getting grades. Man, that young man And every chance I get, I like to give him kudos because not everybody know his story, not everybody know his family story, but just to give him kudos about what he's doing to change. He has bought into the no X mentality. He's bought into the craft of football where he's trying to work to get a scholarship. So I like to give him love as much as I can because of his story. And once he make it, like I said, once he make it, and he'll be able to tell his story, it's going to be more powerful than mine. So that's why I give that young man love. But that young man is a silent leader. He's not a vocal. He'll be vocal when he needs to. To do the things that he's doing now to change his life, that's a silent leader to me.
I mean, and if you ask me, that just means that he's more of a walker than a talker.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, some leaders are like that. I would rather walk than talk about it. And if you ask me or if you need that information, I'm always willing to give it.
Right.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Shout out to all you Hawks out there.
Yes,
That's good. We definitely gonna be waiting to see y'all on the field next year.
Yes, sir.
Or whichever field you on, because you doing multi-athletes, right?
Yeah, we got you. Hey, you guys compete and everything, so we'll be watching you guys in all sports. Hey, before we wrap this up, I just want to say this. This is gonna be my ending thing. I want to give love to my coaching staff. All right, and like I said, I want to continue to give love to my coaching staff because without them, there wouldn't be no me. All right. Obviously, I got the passion, I got the drive and all that stuff, but I got guys who are willing to sit back and not want to be chiefs. They're okay with being Indians when they need to be Indians, even though I asked them to be chiefs because this is our program, not mine. But they're willing to to sit back and take that assistant role and be powerful with their role because they see the vision that that I'm coming with. Yes. See, so to have those men. Excuse me, to have those men be a part of my staff is a powerful thing. And the number one thing is, man, like I'm younger than all those guys except one. Coach Cooper is younger than me. I think Coach Cooper is like a year or two younger than me. But everyone else, even my frat brother, my bro, my DC, my guy, Coach Coy, all those guys are older than me. But these guys are trusting me and have instilled their time and patience in me to get along this drive, man, this journey that we're going to, excuse me. And they're willing to go along this path with me to see where it's leading. So, I appreciate those guys, and and you can ask them, man, every chance I get after every practice, I always tell them I appreciate you guys, man, because I do the most, bro. Like bro, like I'm not lying. Like I work, I don't shut off, guys. I'm a football guy, so I'm working. I'm really working when I'm at home. Like you can ask any of the coaches. You can ask Coach Coy, Coach May, Coach Carpenter, Coach Bowen, Coach Cooper. Ask any of those guys. At 2 a.m, their phone will go off because I'm sending messages about football. At 2 a.m, I'm not making this up. At 2 a.m, I'm sending messages about football stuff, and I know it drives them crazy. But and on top of that, my AD. And shout out to him because at 2 a.m, I'm sending him messages too. And he's responding because at 2 a.m, he'll send me a message if he needs to. That's just the passion that we have to want to create change. Yes. So I just want to give love to those guys, man, because without you guys, without you guys being behind me and pushing me and being a part of me on this journey, these kids wouldn't buy in. So I appreciate you guys for that.
All right. Hey, shout out to the coaching staff because like we say, it takes a team. It takes a team. Teamworks make the dream work. Yes, and that's what we want the students to really hear and understand. Like you're going to be successful, but you're going to have to be able to accept help while also giving it. So with this wrap up, we just going to go ahead and tell everybody, like tell the school, tell the team, tell other schools, tell competition, tell them what you need them to know about you and the program and what's going down and what they need to be afraid of because these Hawks is about to swoop on them.
Hey, I will say this, not just football, but I put this on my Twitter and I say this to everybody. This is a new Harmon. All right, this is not the old Harmon where we're gonna lay down and just accept that we're a stat game, just accept that we are an automatic dub. Like we're gonna fight and claw and give you a run for the money. Even if we do lose, You're gonna walk out of whatever sport you're playing, whatever competition you're doing, saying, "Damn, they gave us a run." That ain't what we used to know. So, and it's gonna initially lead into being a winning athletic department. All right, so that's what I want you guys to know, that we have coaches here now who are not sitting around waiting for something to happen. We're trying to go get it. And on top of that, no X.
All right, y'all heard it here first. We got Coach O'Neal in the building. He just let y'all know what it is. This is Hawk Sports Radio, and I hope to see y'all again. Hope to talk to y'all again, speak with y'all again. We gonna do this again. Next time is just gonna be a little bit bigger. All right, y'all have a good day. Peace.
Super good. Inglewood. Let's bullets in the clip high. Pull it in the kid drop. Where do you ever live if you grew up in a ziplock? Shut it from the riff rock. Never heard of hip hop. Caught up in the grist. Did they holla? Fear not. Aiming for the lid, better be in tip top. Friendly from the beach, showed him how to crip walk. Brother was a blood, he slanging that Chris Rock. Got minutes on the wristwatch. Watching as it tick tock. Belly had a piss pop, bloody as his fist got. Muddy as his kicks got. Homie never did stop. Aiming to get rich, he taking a clear shot. Famous at the goal, he buying up clear lots. About to show the world as soon as it drops. That he spill his soul every time he clears thoughts on paper. This is the truth, y'all just rule on paper. If money ain't good money, I'm cool on paper. Still stacked up, about to take y'all to school on paper. On paper. Yippity do, hickory die. Your body slippery slope, hippity hop, Bugatti. What would you do?